Hello students, welcome to Sreenath Academy. In this video, we are going to discuss the 15th chapter, which is some natural phenomena in 8th class CBSE physics students. Okay, so some natural phenomena. So before we are going to start this whole chapter, we will see what are the concepts are there. We will see the just summary of the whole chapter, students. Okay. So in this chapter, students, in the class 7th, you have already studied about the winds, storms and cyclones, and what are the damages that cyclones made to the human life and property. So that cyclones are destructive, they will make a lot of destruction. So here we are going to discuss another some destructive natural phenomena, students. That is, one is the lightning and another is the earthquakes. So we are going to discuss about these two destructive natural phenomena, students. Okay, now first thing is lightning. So in that lightning, the sparks that the Greek knows about. So Greeks knows something about the sparks, what they knows and in which time they knows. And next thing is charging by rubbing. So by the method of rubbing, can we get charging? Can we get charged bodies? Yes, students. And next thing is types of charges and their interactions. So how many types of charges are there and what is their interaction? Next thing is transfer of charge. How we can transfer the charge? Okay, students, that is the case. And final thing, that is story of lightning. So how the lightning is happening, that is the case we have to learn. And in the case of lightning, what are the safety measures we have to take? What are the do's and don'ts? When you're inside house and outside the house, what thing you have to do? And lightning conductors, what is the use of those? Next thing is earthquakes. And what is meant by an earthquake? And what causes an earthquake? And how to measure, how the earthquakes impact is measured, is that is the seismograph, like these are there, students, Richter scale. So in the case of earthquakes, how we will get the protection, what we have to do, what are the do's and what are the don'ts? So if you are at home, what to do? If you are outside, what we have to do? So this is the whole chapter, students. This is the thing we are going to discuss now. Are you ready, students? So we are going to start this session. Students. So we know about the winds, we have already discussed, and the cyclones, which will affect us, which will damage the human life and the property. It has made several destructions. So now we are going to discuss about lightning. What is meant by lightning? Okay, students. So we know on the rainy seasons we will see the lightning and thunderstorms, students. Okay, so we will see the lightning in some other cases. So if it is in the electric pole also, on the electric poles, sometimes we will whenever the winds are blowing, whenever there is a loose connection, we will see some sparks. And whenever you are plugging into the sockets also, we will see some sparks. So the sparks which we are seeing in the electric sockets or on the wires, electric poles, and the lightning, all are same, students. Okay, so and lightning is caused by the accumulation of charges in the clouds. Okay, students, that is the thing. So what the sparks that the Greeks know about? So there are ancient Greeks. Okay, ancients before 1600 BC. What they know is that, students, whenever there is a amber and whenever it is rubbed with a fur, and it will attract the light objects like hair. This is the thing they are known. they know. And we also know that whenever you take off the woolen or polyester clothes, your hair strands will stands on ends, and if you do it in the dark, you will listen some crackling sounds and some sparks also. So Benjamin Franklin in 1752, so an American scientist, friends, so he said that finally lightning and the spark from your clothes are essentially the same phenomena. Lightning and the sparks from the clothes are both are same. So that is the thing, students. So now we will do some experiments. Charging by rubbing. So take a ball pen refill and rub it with a piece of polythene and bring it close to a small piece of paper. What will you observe? So what will you observe is that, students, that will be attracted, or it will attract the pieces of paper. Okay. So, and one more thing while doing this experiment is that, students, do not touch the rubbed end of the refill with your hands. Okay, that is the caution you have to follow. And repeat this experiment with the dry leaves and husk and mustard seeds, all these things. Okay. When a plastic refill is rubbed with the polythene, what happens, students? That plastic refill is acquiring some charge. And whenever the plastic comb is rubbed with dry hair, it is also acquiring some charge, small charge. Okay, so the objects after rubbing which getting the charges are called as charged bodies. Okay, so in the process of charging, the refill and the plastic comb, polythene and hair also get charged. All these things also get charged, students. So we have to do the experiment activity, students. So objects rubbed, so refill, balloon, eraser and steel spoon. And with which materials you are rubbing? First thing, try with polythene and try with woolen cloth. Try with polythene, woolen cloth, dry hair. What are the things? So while do rubbing with it, and does it attracts or not paper pieces? So if it attracts, does they are charged or not? If it attracts, it is charged. If it does not attract, it is not charged. So next, types of charges and their interaction. So first activity is there, students. So here, take the two balloons and rub each balloon with woolen cloth separately and leave them. What you will observe is they will move away. Now take the pen refills, so rub them with polythene separately and bring them together. What you will observe. And now take the balloon, rub it with some woolen cloth, take the refill and rub it with some polythene and place them together, bring them together. What you will observe? They will repel. So from all these things, what is the summary is that, students, a charged balloon repelled a charged balloon. So whenever there are two balloons, they are repelled. A charged balloon repel a charged balloon. And charged refill, if you another charged refill. So if you are having two charged refills, so if you take two charged refills, they are also repelling each other. But when you place the balloon with the refill, they are attracting. So what we concluded is that, students, that balloon is charged and the refill is charged, we know it, but the charge on the balloon is different from the charge on the refill. That's why they are attracted. If the charge on the balloon and the charge on the refill is same, then they will be repelled. Like what in the case of, we know that in this case both are having same charge because both are same materials. They are repelled, like that they will repel, but in this case is not. So what we can conclude is that, students, that both are having different charges. So we know regarding the magnets that north pole repel, north pole south pole attract, like poles repel and like poles attract. So according to that convention, and also here we are having the two charges, positive charge, negative charge, named charges, positive charge, negative charge. So what is the positive charge? There is a convention we have to follow. Suppose if you take a glass rod and you rubbed it with a silk, that glass rod is positively charged, it is having charge and it is positive, and the silk with which you have rubbed is also charged and it is negatively charged. So the charge on the glass rod is positive and the charge on the silk is negative, students. Okay, and whenever you bought the glass rod, need a charged plastic straw, there is attraction between them. So what do you think would be the kind of charge on the plastic straw? So what do you think, what is the charge on plastic straw? That is obviously negative charge. Why? The glass rod is positive, we already know, and whenever we are taking it to the straw, it is attracting, so it is a negative charge. The electric charges, how the electric charges are produced? They are produced, generated by rubbing, and the charges which are produced by rubbing are called as static charges. There are dynamic charges, which means charges can move, so those charges will constitute a electric current. That current in the bulbs helps to glow bulbs, we have discussed already. Next thing is a transfer of charge. How charge will be transferred? For that, take an empty bottle, jam bottle like this, and place a cardboard sheet on it and make a hole and tie a metal paper clip like this. So take two aluminum foils whose lengths are like this and arrange like this. So now take the glass rod which is rubbed, which is positively charged, and place it and touch the rod with this paper clip. What happens? What will you observe? What will observe, students? These two will move away, these two will repel. Why? Because it is a charged body and it is touched with the paper clip, metal paper clip. So that what happening is the charge is transferring, moving from the glass rod through the metal paper clip and through the aluminum foils. So both aluminum foils are connected to the same, so the charge is transferring to the both aluminum foils. So both aluminum foils will be charged with the same charge, so we know that same charge will repel, that's why they are moving out. So by this, whenever they are repelling, we can say that charge is calmed. So what we can say is that, students, whenever they are moving apart, or whenever they are moving apart, then we can conclude that the object which we bring in contact is a charged body. So if you take any other metal or any other material and touch this metal paper clip, the aluminum films are not moved away, what is our conclusion? What is our conclusion is that, students, if they are not moved away, what is our conclusion is that, students, there is no charge. It is not the charged body. If it is the charged body, charge will flows and these will repel. If it is not the charged body, charge will not flows and they will not be repelled. That is the simple checking. So we call this apparatus or this instrument as electroscope. So with the help of the electroscope, we can decide whether an object or whether an object or anything is charged or not charged. Charged or not charged. That is the thing. Electric charge is transferred from charged body to another metal conductor, students. Now, after doing this, placing the glass rod, they are repelled. Now place your hand on the metal paper clip. What happens? They will not move apart, they will come in the normal situation. Why means, what happening is, students, even though there is a charge before, but that charge is moved through back and moved through your hand and moved to the ground. Okay, so that charge can transfer, charge can move. So we call this as the discharging, and the foil strips are discharged. Previously they have charged, aluminum foils are, now they are discharged. Charge moved from aluminum foils to your hand and it goes to the earth. So the process of transferring of charge from a charged body to the earth is called as earthing. We will listen this word in our home, students. Earthing. So we have to do earthing to our house building, so that any electrical appliances, if they get high voltages or high charges, high current, those excess current will goes into the ground, so that any of the electrical appliances will not be damaged, and there will be no property loss and there will be no human loss. Okay, students, if there is no earthing, what happens? If a heavy current comes, it will damage the devices. It may cause fire also. That is the thing. Now the main interest is the lightning. What is the story of lightning? How the lightning is happening? So by all this knowledge, we can explain what is happening in the case of lightning. So we will explain the lightning in terms of charges produced by rubbing. Okay, students. So we have learnt in class 7th that during the development of thunderstorms, the air currents will move upward while the water droplets will move downward. So these vigorous movements will separate the charges. Okay, students, but not completely, students. So here you can't understand deeply. It is a high level subject, but somewhat you can understand, students. That is, the positive charge collect near the upper edges of the clouds. So if there is clouds on the upper edges, there is positive charge, on the lower edges there is negative charge, clouds, and also positive charge in the ground also. So we know that charge moves and plus attracts negative. Positive charge attracts negative charge. We have discussed already, and positive charge repels positive charge. So what happens? So there is accumulation of positive charges near the ground also. When the magnitude of the accumulated charges becomes very large, if the charges are very large, what happens, students? Basically the air is normally poor conductor, but in this case magnitude of the charging is high, it will becomes a good conductor. And we know that negative and positive charges will attract, so they will meet. Negative charge will meet positive charge, negative charge will attract positive charge. So in their collision, bright light and sound is produced, that we call as the lightning. So this is called as electric discharge, students, basically. And so the process of electric discharge can occur between two or more clouds, students, or between clouds. It may occur between two or more clouds or between clouds and earth. That is the thing, students. What are the safety measurements we have to take in the case of lightning? So during lightning and thunderstorm, students, open place is not safe. Okay, so if you hear the thunder, so it is an alert for you. You have to go to a safer place. You have to run into the safer place after hearing the last thunder. So even though if you listen to the last thunder and there will be no thunder sounds, so in that situation also don't immediately come out of the safer place. Okay, so wait for some time. And what is the safe place? How to find it? So basically safe place is a house or a building. If you traveling in the time you are traveling in a car or in a bus, the safer place is you have to sit inside, windows, doors closed. And in the case of thunders, storms, what are the do's and what are the don'ts. Suppose if you are outside, so open vehicles like motorbikes, tractors, construction machinery, open cars are not safe. These places are not safe. If you are like in motorbike, it is an open vehicle, not safe. Tractor, not safe, like that. So construction machinery, construction places, and open cars, all these things, open places are not safe. So open fields, there is no trees or buildings or nothing, it is only open, and if there are tall trees, they are not good things, they are not safer places, safe places. And elevated places also not safe places. Okay. And carrying an umbrella is also a not good thing. It is the, suppose if you are in a forest, so we have to take shelter in the shorter trees, not in the longer trees. And suppose if there is no shelter available in an open field and there is no trees or not anything, so in the times we have to stay away from the poles or other metal objects, and you do not lie on the ground. We have to sit like this. So this is the one of the safest position. Squat low. This is the thing. Okay, students, this is the safest place and is the smallest target. And inside the house. Inside the house. Suppose if you are inside the house. So lightning can strike the telephone cords and electrical wires and metal pipes, students. So because lightning is electrical discharge, it will always look for opposite charge. So during the thunderstorm, these contacts should be avoided. So you can use the mobile phones, but not the wired phones. Okay. And you don't call up a person who is receiving your phone call through a wired phone. And bathing should be avoided during thunderstorms, so that you will be away from the running water. Otherwise, water is a good conductor, current will passes through you, it will damage you. And electrical appliances like computers, TVs, all these to be unplugged. Okay, electrical lights can remain on, there will be no problem for them. And next thing is lightning conductors. What is a lightning conductor? Lightning conductor is a device, students. It is used to protect the buildings from the effect of lightning. So how it happening is, there is a metallic rod which is a very long metallic rod which is the taller than your building. Okay, that is installed in the walls of the building during its construction, students. Okay, so one end of the rod is kept into the air and other end is buried deep in the ground. One end is in the open air and another end is in the ground. The rod provides easy route for the transfer of electric charge to the ground, so that even if it touches, it will go deep into the ground, students. The metal columns used during constructions, electrical wires and water pipes in the buildings also protect us to an extent, but do not touch them during a thunderstorm. Okay, students, the metal columns which we have used in the construction, or the electrical wires or the water pipes, they will all help us, but make sure you don't touch them. Next thing is that next phenomena, that is earthquakes, students. Earthquakes. So in class 11th we have learned about cyclones. Similar to that, another destructive natural phenomena is that earthquakes. It will cause the human loss, life loss, property loss. So we know how the earthquakes are developed, formed, but we can't know how to stop them, how to protect them. Okay, students, so Regarding the thunderstorms, we can know in which area, on which time thunderstorms will occur. But regarding the earthquake, friends, this is too sad. We can't guess it. We can't predict it. But thunderstorms can be predicted. Weather departments will announce us that there will be a rain with thunders. So move to the safe place like that. So if thunderstorms occurs, always at the time there will be a possibility of lightning and there is a cyclone. So all these things come, so there is a time to take some decisions, there is a time to move to safer places, and there is a time to protect us and to minimize the damage. All these things are okay in the case of lightning and thunderstorms or cyclones. Weather reports also scientists also can predict. But in the case of earthquake, no one can predict. Okay, students. So it is the thing. So a major earthquake occurred in India is in 80 October 2005 in Urian Tangadar. Okay, students. We are in the North Kashmir. Before that, a major earthquake occurred on 26 January. So now, what is an earthquake? What happens when it occurs? What we can do to minimize its effects? These are the questions now we are going to answer. So these are the destruction losses. Is the Kashmir earthquake makes this type of destruction, students? So earthquake is nothing but a sudden shaking of earth. It is true, students, earth will shake suddenly. That is the earthquake. But it will not shake for longer times. It will shake for only a short time. And that sudden shaking is called as earthquake, and it is because of the disturbances that is produced inside the earth. Okay, students. So earthquake occur all the time all over the earth. They are not even noticed. Sometimes earthquake occurs, but we can't recognize them because they are much smaller. And major earthquakes are less frequent. Okay, so we only observe or recognize the major earthquakes, and the major earthquakes will bring immense damage to the buildings and the bridges and the dams and the property and the loss of life. So much of loss is there, friends. And a major tsunami, even though the earthquakes will promote floods, landslides and tsunamis. And major tsunami occurred in Indian Ocean is on 26 December 2004, and all the coastal areas around the ocean suffered huge losses. Huge losses. Now, what causes an earthquake? So in ancient days there are different stories according to it, but nowadays what causes the earthquake? Basically, earth is having different types of parts inside. So we called it as the crust, and this is the mantle. This is the crust and it is the mantle, and it is the outer core and it is the inner core. So in the case of outermost layer of the earth, there are plates. It is not a one part, there are different plates. So we call these plates are in these plates will continuously move. Okay, students, they are continuous motion. So whenever the plates will come like this, whenever the plates will come collides with one another, or one will goes down and will goes up, or one will move in this direction, one will move in this direction, brushing past. In these cases, the plates will be moved and the vibrations and the earthquake will occur. So this is the disturbances in the earth crust. Okay, students, so this will causing the earthquakes. So we know what causes the earthquake, but what's the sad news is that, students, we can't predict when the earthquake will comes, and it lasts for a very short time. And even if volcano erupts, in the situation also earthquake will occur. Even when some meteoroids hits the earth, In that time also earthquake will occur, or if there is any underground nuclear explosion, in this situation also earthquake may occur. But most of the earthquakes are because of the movement of earth. So the boundaries of the plates are called as the weak zones, and where the around the boundaries the earthquakes are more frequent to occur. Those weak zones are also known as seismic or fault zones. So regarding in India, the most threatened area is Kashmir, western and central Himalayas, and northeast Rann of Kutch, Rajasthan, Indo-Gangetic Plain. So all these are the weak zones. There are the threatening areas. There is a chance to get earthquake. South India also fall in the danger zone, students. So the power of earthquake is expressed in terms of magnitude on a scale that is Richter scale. So whenever the Richter scale shows the magnitude of the earthquake is greater than 7, then the destruction is high. It is a big earthquake. Whenever it is smaller than 7, it is not that much big earthquake. So the plates or the tremors, they will produce waves on the surface of earth. So we call those waves as the seismic waves, friends. And these waves are recorded with seismograph. So it is a simple vibrating instrument, friends. It is like that. There is a pendulum, there is a pen shape like this. So whenever the seismic waves comes, it will vibrates, and if there is a pen attached to it, it will draws like this. Okay, students, so that it will record the graph, so that we can get understand what is the cause of the how much time it there, so we can get some information from it. And next, protection against earthquakes. So how we can become safe against the earthquakes? We have already discussed that earthquakes cannot be predicted. Yes, they cannot be predicted, and they will give highly destructive. But some precautions we can take. So people who are living in the seismic zones, in the danger zones, in the earthquake zones, what they have to do is they have to prepare for the earthquakes. So first of all, the buildings in these zones should be so designed. So we have to design the buildings in those regions like they are shock proof or like earthquake proof like that. So modern building technologies has developed such technology. So those buildings are shock proof. We have to build like using the technologies, that is quake safe. And in highly seismic areas, use the mud or timber. It is better to build a cement construction, heavy construction, so that sometimes if it falls, so it will not much affect you if it falls on you also, and you can easily rebuild it. And the roofs which you use for construction, they must also be very, very light, so that even if they falls on you during the earthquake, so it will not hurts you a lot. There will be less property loss and there is less damage. And the cupboards you are making fixed to the walls is better thing, so that they will not fall easily. And next thing is hang wall clocks, photo frames. You will hang them. Make sure that they will not fall on you in the case of earthquakes and will not hurts you much. And one more thing is, during earthquakes some buildings will get fired, so all the buildings must have readily safe keep with firefighting equipments. And the Central Building Research Institute has developed how to make quake resistant houses. That is the thing you have to follow. So now if you are at home during the earthquake situation, what you have to do? That take shelter under a table or stay there till the shaking stops. And next thing is, you have to stay away from tall and heavy objects. If suppose they have fall upon you, it will hurt you. It will. If you are in bed, do not get up, protect your head with a pillow. And suppose if you are outdoors, not in the home, so you have to find a place which is very long from buildings and the trees and overhead power lines like that, and drop to the ground. And if you are in a car, do not come out of it and ask the driver to move to the clear spot. So this is the end of the chapter. Our chapter is completed, students. Chapter completed. So now we are going to see the summary of this whole chapter, students. Okay, we have discussed everything and we are going to see the summary. So some natural phenomena is the present chapter name, students. So in the class 6 we have studied about the cyclones, whatever it may be, storms and all other things. So now we are going to discuss, here we have discussed about lightning and earthquakes. So coming the point of lightning, students, lightning, you will see some electric shocks, electric connections or the electric sparks in the electric poles. That is because of the and the electric sparks in the case of pluggings. All these because of lightning. Also the lightning and the phenomena here both are same, students. All these because of the charges. So and there are amber, when rubbed with fur, it will attract light objects. So what is happening is that amber is getting charged. So charging by rubbing. So whenever you rub some things with some other materials, they will get charged. Then the objects called as charged objects. And next thing is types of charges. So there are two types of charges: positive charge, negative charge. Same charges repel, unlike opposite charges attract. And what is the convention is that if a glass rod is rubbed with a silk and we are treating the glass rod as a positive and that silk is regarded as a negative charge, and we are generating charges by rubbing, we call these as the static charge. Whenever the charges moves, we call it as a current. And transfer of charge. So charge can transfer through metals. So the device used to check whether any object is charged or not is electroscope. And next thing is, if the charge is transferred from charged body to ground, we call it as the earthing. And how lightning happening is that there is upper surface of the clouds is positive charged, lower surface of the cloud is negatively charged, and ground is positive charged. So positive will attract the negative. In these situations, lightning comes, sound comes. This is electric discharge. And in the case of lightnings, you have to outside safe place is not safe. So what we have to, if you are outside, so you have to if your open vehicles are not good and don't carry umbrella, if you are in open shelter, you have to sit like this. If you are inside the house, so their risk is less, and don't use the telephone cords or the electrical wires, metal pipes like that. So don't bath, so don't electrical appliances will be plug off. So lightning conductors are the metals which are inserted in the buildings while constructing, so that it is a direct path to the ground, so the charge will goes into the ground. Next is the earthquake. It is the another destructive thing. It will last for very small time, but it is very destructive and we can't predict it. So basically that earthquake is sudden shaking of the trembling of the earth. It is for very short time. It is because of the disturbances in the deep inside the earth, and the earth will have this type of crust, mantle, outer core like that. And whenever these plates will collide like this or brush like this, then earthquake will comes. The boundaries of these plates are called as the weak zones, also called as seismic or fault zones. And we will find the power of the earthquake using a Richter scale and its magnitude. If it is above the 7, it is very dangerous. And these tremors also produce the waves called seismic waves, which are recorded by seismograph. And what we have to do in the case of earthquakes is that we have to, first thing is we have to be prepared for that. So our houses construction must be quake safe, and the roofs are must be with lightweight, and our buildings cheap, and like that we have to make, and don't hang any things, and cupboards must be to the well on the walls, it is better thing. And use the mud houses or timber houses, it will be helpful. And we have to fight for the fire also. And if you are at the home, take a shelter and a table, don't move away from the tall objects. If you are outdoors, first find a spot there is no trees, no buildings like that. That is the thing, students. Chapter is completed, summary is also completed. Have a nice day, keep smiling, don't forget to subscribe Sreenath Academy. Bye bye, students.